Welcome back to my channel, my friends. And if you're new, my name is Bianca and I make fitness, wellness, lifestyle type content, sprinkle in a little bit of travel and other fun stuff. And today's video is actually kind of a mix of all of that because I thought it would be nice to do a full day of eating after vacation or a full day of eating when you're trying to get back on track and just talk about things that I do that help me feel my best and help me feel like I get that momentum of taking care of myself again and just fueling my body and helping with bloating and other things like that that are common after vacation. And I do want to put out a disclaimer that this is not things that you have to do. This is not things that if you don't do them, you're not back on track, or things that I do that like make me better than other people who don't do these things. These are just simply things that I enjoy doing, that I have noticed make me feel my best. And the thing is that actually, like, I just came back from a Miami trip, which is the last vlog that I would have put up, that I'm gonna edit today actually. So I'm very, very excited to see how that turns out. It was a bachelorette weekend. So of course we indulged a lot of sugary drinks, just things that are out of my normal routine. So no, I didn't feel my best, both physically and like mentally, you know, in a sense, when I came back. So I'm very excited to get back on track. And not only that, but in 2 weeks I leave again for a 3-week-long trip this time. So I really, really want to feel my best before that trip. I want to feel like I've kind of gotten back into my routine. So today's just going to be an example of things that I eat that I know make me feel good and that help fuel my body and help fuel my workouts also, because I'm excited to get back to working out over the next 2 weeks, I guess, before I leave again. But yeah, so that's what today's video is all about, just sharing things that I enjoy doing, but please don't feel like you have to do any of these things. So number one on that list, well, before I even start, I didn't film this morning. I just took my greens and some pre-workout. I'm gonna show them to you. This was the morning stack this morning. So Bloom greens and the Sour Peach Ring pre-workout, which is one of my favorites. This is the morning routine these days. I like to keep my coffee for after my morning workout. It's become like my treat. It helps me get into my workout faster in the morning because I'm excited to get it done so that I can go have my coffee. So this is my first coffee of the day. I worked out a bit later in the morning than usually. So it's already 10 o'clock now and I just finished with my workout and everything and made my coffee. So the number one thing that I like to do when I get back on vacation and when I'm trying, whether it's vacation or not, if I'm just trying to kind of feel better about myself, like in my body, my digestion, all of that, the first thing that works really, really well for me is intermittent fasting. And I'm really not strict on intermittent fasting. Like if you really do it the strict way, this coffee would be considered breaking your fast because I do put sugar, I put oat milk, like I like to enjoy my coffee in the morning, so I don't even think too much about that. But pushing my breakfast a little bit later, like between 11 and noon, helps me get my cravings under control again, my hunger cues under control again, because after you overindulge for multiple days, you might not feel quite as hungry anymore, and then I find I kind of struggle to eat a little bit in the morning. So I like to push my breakfast into a little bit later, and also being able to eat more often between, let's say, 11 o'clock and dinner also helps with my cravings, because I'm someone who has like sugar cravings and just like I just feel like munching and snacking on stuff in the afternoon. So if my breakfast is at like 11, 12, and then my lunch is between 2 and 3, and then I have dinner at like between 6 and 7, then I don't really have that much time for snacking and I don't feel the need to snack. So that also helps me kind of bring my caloric intake back down a little bit and kind of get things flowing and just kind of focus on my 3 main meals for the day. So that is a personal preference. Once again, intermittent fasting on its own will not make you lose weight. It will not do any magic. It is not like this magical thing that if you do results. It is just a different way of eating that can be helpful, can be beneficial to put you in a deficit, to help you feel better, etc., etc. I feel like I'm going to feel the need to put a lot of disclaimers into this because like full day of eatings and this kind of video, I know that they can be triggering and they can like make people worry about what they're doing and make people think that they need to be changing up everything they're doing, and you really don't. There are so many different ways that you can eat and so many different things that you can implement into your eating habits that can make you feel better but wouldn't work for someone else, and vice versa. Things that work for me might not work for you. So anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling on about these, but just please Please focus on what makes you feel your best and don't focus too much about anyone else. You can always try new things, but just don't become obsessive or like get super close-minded about the things that you have to do in order to be healthy or fit. That is it. I'm done. I'm gonna go enjoy my coffee now, and I will catch you guys at breakfast. Okay, it's now breakfast time. I was really craving toasts and eggs for some reason, so that is exactly what I had. I'm gonna admit it doesn't look the most appetizing, but I think it's gonna be really good. I'll put up a reel. I made a reel while I filmed it, so I don't have clips for you guys, but I'll put that up right here so you guys can see the process, and I'm gonna show you guys the final result. So there we have it. So we have 2 sourdough toasts, and then I put this beetroot hummus on it, which was really good. Also has some balsamic glaze in it, so it's really tasty. And then I did 2 eggs, half a cup of egg whites for extra protein. And then I already had cooked some peppers and onions on the stovetop with some balsamic vinegar as well. So that went really well together. And then I just chopped up some tomatoes for some extra veggies. And like I said, it might not look the most appetizing, but I think it's gonna be really delicious. So the main goal here, like with most of my meals, is to make sure that I have a really high protein source. So here, considering that I had half a cup of egg whites and 2 eggs, I'm definitely getting between that 25 to 35 grams of protein per meal that I try to aim for. And then also try to have a variety of veggies. So I have peppers, tomatoes, here's some beets, obviously in the beetroot hummus. So not that much. I could have added spinach. Now that I'm thinking about it, that could have like added even more color, more greens to my meal, but still, this is good for now. Worst case, I will have a smoothie later or just make sure that I have more veggies in my lunch, which I'm gonna have a salad. So there you go. That probably makes up for it right there. But yeah, so veggies, protein, always the base of my meals, and even more so if I'm trying to kind of like kickstart my good habits once again, or be like just a little bit better, a little bit more disciplined with my eating habits. Those are the 2 things that I focus on the most. And then I do also have fats from the eggs and carbs from the sourdough bread. So very balanced, complete meal, and I'm excited to dive in. Okay, so for lunchtime, I decided that I was actually feeling a smoothie more than a salad. Let me just lift this up a bit. There we go. So yeah, I felt like having something that wasn't gonna feel as voluminous as eating a salad, because I'm honestly still pretty hungry from breakfast. That was a big breakfast for me. Those slices of toast are like ginormous. So it was more filling than I expected. So therefore, I don't feel like a salad. I just want something cold and refreshing that's not gonna make me feel too full before dinner, because it's already 3:20. Like I'm having a very late lunch. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna do spinach, frozen spinach, because like I said, I feel like I'm missing some greens so far at this point in the day. So I'm gonna do 1 cube, 2 cubes. I'll only do 2 because I'll have 2 left for another time. Then protein-wise, I'm actually gonna use this Clear Whey protein. So Clear Whey is basically like regular whey isolate protein, except it's not like a creamy flavor. It's more like fresh, light flavors. So for example, this one is peach mango. Like if you were to put this in just water, it would just taste like juice, which is honestly really nice. Like I made frozen popsicles with this. It's just a really nice alternative to have when you're feeling, you don't feel like having like a protein taste. So I'm gonna do 1 scoop of that. And I chose peach mango because I think it goes with everything else. So this is a mix that I wanna finish. So in here I have some peaches and some strawberries, I think, left. Yeah, and some frozen grapes. So this is gonna be perfect. Let's see, do I have any more? Yeah, there we go. Okay, and then I think I'm gonna add just like 1 or 2 chunks of pineapple just for the flavor. Yeah, I'll just do like this. 2 small chunks of pineapple because I don't want too much fruit either. Like I said, I had a pretty heavy lunch, so I want this to be a nice, light, just kind of protein-filled drink. That's really all I need for today. I'm gonna add a little bit of oat milk. I'm going to measure it because it's easy to go overboard on oat milk, and this one has, unfortunately, quite a bit of, quite a few carbs in it. So there we go. This is just under half a cup, and then the rest I'll just complete that with water to get the consistency that I want. Next, more protein, more creaminess. I'm gonna do Greek yogurt, but once again, just a little bit. So I'm gonna do probably just like one big spoonful like that. I don't think I need more, but this just adds, yeah, maybe a little more. This just adds a bit more volume, and it also makes the texture really, really nice because I like thick smoothies. I'm a thick smoothie gal over here. Okay, I think that is everything. I put my fruit, yogurt, protein, spinach, a little bit of oat milk. I will add a bit of water because there's not enough liquid. Okay, we definitely got the thick consistency going on. Maybe even a bit too thick. I might add a bit of water and mix that all together. And there we have it. So that's going to be lunch. This is honestly kind of an unusual lunch for me. I just went with what I was feeling today. I don't follow like a strict meal plan or any strict guidelines, honestly, in my diet, other than like I said before, high protein, high micronutrients, so high vegetables. And I try to keep my sugars and my processed food to a minimum, so as little as I can. But otherwise, like I said, I go with kind of what I'm feeling. I do usually like to meal prep at the beginning of the week, like ingredients more than actual meals. Like I'll meal prep chicken breast, I'll meal prep rice, sometimes I'll meal prep sweet potatoes, I'll put a bunch of veggies in the oven ahead of time. So I like to have ingredients that I know that I really enjoy and it's easy for me to put together. And that's just what I do. And then from that, I kind of play around with it day by day based on what I'm feeling. Which I have currently at the moment. I also have couscous in the fridge, I have chicken, like I have all those things, but I just went with what I was feeling. And also because this morning I had eggs on toast, which I don't normally have. I usually either have a smoothie or oatmeal for breakfast. So that's usually when I use my protein powder. I don't like to have protein powders in two separate meals. So normally, had I had like one of my typical breakfasts, I wouldn't have had this for lunch, but because I didn't have protein powder yet today, and this is what I was feeling, I just went for it. So yeah, there we have it. This is lunch. I have not yet snacked today, and I don't think I'm going to snack, once again, because I pushed my breakfast forward. But on days where I normally do snack, I like to either go for just fruit, sometimes just a protein shake if I'm low on protein. I used to have protein bars. I used to have the Build Bars, which I haven't had in a little while. I actually just made an order today, and I do have a discount code if ever you guys are curious. I don't have them right now to show you, but they are the ones that I've been using for at least a year, maybe even a year and a half. The only ones that I've had since, because they are the best. They honestly taste like chocolate bars, to be honest, and they always have so many good flavors. So if ever you're looking for a new protein bar, I will leave the link down below, and when I do get them, I'll actually show them to you guys and share them with you. But they're really, really good. So yeah, usually snacks tend to be fruit or something that's high protein for me. Sometimes like crackers and hummus, it really depends, but I try to get most of my calories from full meals and as little as possible from snacks. So that's just a little bit of an overview of how I like to eat and the eating habits that I like to focus on in my day. So I'm going to get back to work, enjoy this, and I'll see you guys for dinner. Okay, so it is dinner time, and I'm actually going to be trying a new recipe for the first time, and it's something that I'm pretty much completely making up. So we're going a little risque for dinner tonight. I hope that it turns out good. So we're gonna be doing pasta, but I wanna make my own sauce. I wanna kind of find a way to make like a creamier rosé sauce without it being as like heavy and high in fat as regular sauce. These are crooked. Let me fix this. All right, there, we're straight. So what I'm gonna put in here, step one is some arrabbiata tomato sauce. So this is my favorite brand because it has really, really good ingredients. All it has in here is Italian whole peeled tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, extra virgin olive oil, sea salt, garlic, basil, crushed chilies. Like there is nothing that is not natural in here, which is amazing. That is pretty rare to find. So I'm gonna put half of this in my food processor. So it up a bit. So we're gonna do, okay, so about half. A little bit more than half, but we'll start with that. And I made a mess everywhere. Love that. Okay. Up next, I'm gonna add a little bit of tomato paste since I'm going to be adding Greek yogurt in here, and I wanna make sure that the tomato flavor still stays like nice and strong. So I think adding a bit of this is gonna help. Why am I struggling? So I think I'm gonna do just like a big tablespoon of it. Put that in there. Then we're gonna move on to Greek yogurt. This is the part where I don't know exactly how much to put, but I'm gonna go with less rather than more. So I think I'm gonna start with just, once again, about like a nice full tablespoon. Put that in there. And then I'm gonna base myself on the color once I mix everything up. So I'll leave that there for now. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic. Bit of garlic in there. Some dry basil. Okay, up next, this is where it gets exciting for me. I'm going to add some low-fat feta cheese to mix that all up in there, which is gonna give it a bit more of that like creamy, salty cheese flavor. So I'm gonna try to be conscious about how much I put, because once again, I want this to try to be a low-fat. So right now, if I put like a full tablespoon like this, that is about 6 grams of fat, so that's really not bad at all. So I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna double that so that we have. And then last but not least, I have these hot banana peppers that I'm gonna put in. They're actually really not that spicy. They're like a little sweet, a little spicy, which I think is actually gonna be really, really nice with this mix. So I'm gonna put a few of those in there. Plus we like spice, so I'm curious to see how this comes out. Once again, as you can see, I'm kind of guessing everything, so I don't know how much of everything I should be putting in, but based on my review at the end, you'll be able to guess if you should be trying more or less of any of this. So I'm gonna mix this all together, and then I'll show you guys what the final color looks like. Okay, so this is the final color. It's a little bit more on like the rosé orange side, so we will see. So with this, I'm going to be making red lentil pasta, and this is actually super high in protein, so this is gonna be my protein source. I don't think I'm gonna put meat into it tonight. It'll just be a vegetarian pasta. And I'm also gonna be doing some mushrooms that I've cut up, and I'm actually gonna add probably some cherry tomatoes as well, and some spinach. So it's gonna be super, super simple, but this is a fantastic way to be able to have pasta regularly and not have to feel any guilt. Not that you should ever associate guilt with food, but when you have food like pasta, but you also know that it's completely nourishing, helping you hit your protein goals for the day, helping you get your vegetables in for the day, like that is a double win in my opinion, because it's delicious, it's a fun meal, but it also takes off all of your boxes for your health and fitness goals. So we're gonna get working on this, and then I will give you guys the final review on the pasta sauce. Alright guys, coming at you from the future to give you an update on that pasta sauce. So, first of all, I'm gonna say that it was definitely a success. It definitely had a bit more of like a rosé texture, and it was just a nice change compared to the usual pasta sauce that I have. Just a really nice lower calorie, higher protein alternative. The feta taste was obviously delicious. I think it would also have been really good if you added like light mozzarella cheese or any other cheese in there. Keeping it light is the part that makes it a little bit less high calorie than like a cream based rosé sauce. So that's number one. Number two, the peppers, those hot banana peppers are really not that spicy. So the amount that I put really gave it just like this tiny little bit of spice, which I think was really, really delicious. The Greek yogurt was definitely not too much. I did make, like, I put the recipe that I personally did for this one on a little slide, so I'll put that at the end so you guys can screenshot and try it out for yourselves if you're interested. But yeah, I'm gonna say definitely a success. I'm happy I tried it out and played around with the recipe a little bit. And it just goes to show that you can make healthier or more macronutrient friendly alternatives to almost anything. You just have to kind of play around with it and find what works for you, or follow people who play around with recipes and have them help you find different alternatives. But anyways, that was it overall for my day of eating. I did end up having some tea right before bed, but it was a day where I wasn't feeling particularly snacky, as you saw. Part of that I think is the intermittent fasting, because like I said, when my meals are that close together, I don't really feel snacky. I don't have hunger. And also just because I think I had like decently big meals, especially for breakfast and my dinner. I had pretty big portions, so that really kind of capped my hunger out. Normally, like I said, sometimes I do have extra snacks, so just a reminder that this is one day of eating. Not every single day looks like this. Some days are actually very, very different, and that is okay. Anyways, I hope that you guys found this fun to watch, interesting, that maybe it inspired you to try something new. If you did like it, please leave a thumbs up. It really, really supports my channel. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos. And as always, please comment down below any suggestions, recommendations, videos that you would like to see. I am coming out with a full week of workouts, I think, pretty soon. And then I'm traveling again, like I mentioned, so I might have some travel vlogs coming up. So it's gonna be a good time. I hope that you guys hit the subscribe and stick around. But anyways, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!